Welcome to the Lonely Chapter podcast. What is the Lonely Chapter all about? About 2 months ago, I had to go through a little experience of isolating myself for a little bit. My new son was just born. During this chapter of which you have like a new child, a lot of times as guys, a lot of the commitments, a lot of the time that we put into connecting and building relationships or meeting up with friends that we have will be taken away because it is a season where we'll have to focus a bit more on our family. The thought that I had around the Lonely Chapter podcast is how do we maximize as men this small chapter that we have in our life where we will probably need to isolate ourselves from the circle that we will usually be around and maximize the productivity and growth that we can take out of this season. And so my purpose with the Lonely Chapter podcast is really to document my journey, at the same time create a sort of video journal of the learnings that I've accumulated over this season of spending a bit more time alone and using this time to build, empower and strengthen who I am. I believe that this podcast might be able to add a bit of value for you. A lot of times the lessons and the thoughts that I journal down in my journal is not translated to value add for anybody else because it's just stored in my journal. So I thought this could be a platform where I share these lessons across. So let's kick off episode 1 today by talking about the September arc. If you scroll on TikTok today, you just search for the September arc, you're going to see a ton of videos that come out about men, women, and everyone alike talking about this final opportunity that we have to make the most out of this final arc of the year. We have 4 months left. We have September, October, November, and December. And in these 4 months, everything could completely change for you. If you're anyone like me, I think across the year, I've set up different goals for myself. And while I've taken steps forward in particular chapters or particular goals that I have, I feel like I haven't completely maximized every single goal that I have set up for myself. This is that final chance that you have. You have about 16 weeks from now, counting down from September all the way till December, which is going to help you make a huge change in how this year turns out for you. So let's talk about this September, or what is known as the winter arc, where everything could completely change for you. How do we maximize this winter arc, and what are some steps that I am personally taking in the midst of this winter arc? Number 1, why the winter arc and how it matters for you. You know, one of the things that I've noticed a lot about guys these days, a lot of guys tend to sit down and complain. And while that sounds like something that's okay to do, I personally find that to be a very emasculating practice. I think as men, oftentimes we all have challenges and issues that we face, but a lot of times talking about the problem itself is not going to bring a lot of value out of it, nor is it going to be a solution for you. I think a framework that I'm going to put in place for myself, and hopefully something that you can do for yourself, is to understand that number 1, nobody is coming to save you. Allow me to share that I grew up in a broken family. I did not have like a father figure to kind of teach me how to grow up as a man, nor did I have like a loving, endearing mother to kind of coddle and raise me up in a very loving environment. I could spend the rest of my life blaming my parents or blaming the family background that I come from for the dysfunctions or for the lack of results in certain areas of my life. But one thing that I have taken out of this process as I grow and as I become a father and as I grow and mature as a man is I understand that nobody is coming to save me and everything is my fault. These are sometimes a bit of a hard fact for us to swallow as guys. I think as guys, sometimes we find that there's so many reasons that we can blame for why we are not making the progress that we're making. But as soon as we take full accountability for the fact that whatever results we are seeing in our life, be it good or bad, is a matter of the fruit of the actions that we've put in. I think this will, number one, resolve all these issues of worries that you have about, you didn't get a good life, you didn't get a good start, it wasn't easy for you, everything was difficult because your parents weren't around. This will completely put a stop to that. And in this winter arc, starting this September, the first thing that I'm going to do for myself, and I hope that you do for yourself too, is take full accountability. Once you take full accountability and you realize that even if it's in the area of your career, in the area of your weight, in the area of your finance, in the area of your love life, if something is lacking, it is completely your fault. Now you will realize that you have the power to change. Now let's talk about the power to change. A lot of times when we want to make changes in our life, we focus on huge, big steps that we want to make. In this September arc, all I'm asking you to do is really simple. For myself as well, I'm going to take 3 big goals that I want to set. I'm going to break them down into daily actions. 1 action per day, that's all. I'm not going to do 5, I'm not going to do 6, just 1. The challenge here would be to remain consistent. Can you continuously do that 1 piece of action continuously on days that you feel like doing it, on days that you don't feel like doing it, continuously and consistently for the rest of these next 4 months? Find out what are those 3 things and keep to it. For myself, one of my goals is to get down to below 80 kgs. I started this year at about 89 kgs, and in my last cut I brought myself down to 85 kgs. Is that a great result? I feel like there's much more room for me to grow. This next 4 months, I'm going to keep my calories to 1900 and I'm going to execute on this plan. Number 2 is, I have been toying about this idea about the Lonely Chapter podcast for a long time. So many thoughts have come in my way of stopping me from getting this done. It could be I don't have the perfect lighting. I probably will never have any guests on this podcast. Do I have the proper mic? Do I know how to edit? Do I know when I'm going to upload? Is anybody going to watch it? Is anybody even going to care? All these have been factors that I've put in place for myself to stop doing what I've intended to do. But today, I'm just taking the 1 step that every week I'm going to release 1 episode. No matter how good the editing or how bad the editing, or even if I just have to cut it and upload it, I'm going to make 1 upload a week on the Lonely Chapter podcast. Number 3 is to pause and reflect. A lot of times as guys, we just keep going and going and going, and if you have been going hard for the last 8 to 9 months and you're not seeing any results, there's something wrong with what you're doing. Nobody's going to tell that to you because you try to figure everything out on your own. So today, what I'm going to do, what you're going to do, is we're going to take a pause and we're going to reflect on how these last 8 months have been. What were the good? What were the bad? What were the learnings? What were the mistakes that you made? Could be in every single area of your life. It could be in your relationships. It could be in your love life. It could be in perhaps the women that you're talking to. It could be the role that you play as a husband, the role that you play as a father. Take a beat. Reflect what has been good, what has been bad, what were the mistakes that you've been making, and how do you stop those mistakes. If you put these 3 in place, trust me, you will be unrecognizable by the time December comes about. The same cycle that we go through as men is every December we tell ourselves, okay, I'm going to start in January. 3 days down into January, we've taken our goals and we've thrown them away. This year, I don't want that to be the case for you, nor do I want that to be the case for me. This year, we are going to make a real change during this winter arc, and in the next 16 weeks, you're going to see so much progress in your life because you're going to embrace this lonely chapter. Is it painful? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. Is it going to be challenging and breaking to your ego? Yes. And as I conclude this first episode, one of the toughest things have been for me is to log out of social media. Why this is particularly hard or a particular challenge for me is because I think, especially with working out and identifying with myself as a runner, a lot of times I get so much validation from posting. I live quite an extreme life. I wake up usually at about 3:30 a.m. every day and I usually go for a run at 5 a.m. And what I realized is that posting these runs gives me like a big dopamine boost, gives me like a big ego boost, because I feel like, man, I completed a run at 5 a.m. while nobody else has done it. But is that really the results is that action really bringing the results that I'm looking for? The answer is no. If I was really disciplined, if I was really hitting my macros and my targets for each week, I would have been much more further along. So eradicating social media is going to help me to refocus myself on the goals that I need to achieve. Number 2 is, as you go through this lonely chapter, a lot of things that your friends are going to be doing is going to be a distraction or a discouragement to you. You're going to be seeing your friends heading out, you're going to be seeing your colleagues having fun together, but with you, you have made a decision that you're going to lock in this next 16 weeks. So seeing what everybody else is doing is going to only discourage you or make you feel like, hey, your life isn't as interesting as theirs. But I want to encourage you, friend, that as you lock in this next 16 weeks, it's okay. It's okay to feel that loneliness. Embrace that loneliness. Embrace that embarrassment that, that you are not a part of the cool crowd anymore. Because guess what? At the end of this year, when you come up with your results, when you come up with your wins, you are going to feel so good about yourself that you won't need the validation of others. You will be proud that you went through this lonely chapter on your own. So thank you so much for tuning in to episode 1. In episode 2, I'm going to be talking about the silver lining between pain and pleasure. I think it's going to be something that a lot of us needs to face in reality, that pain is a big part of what we have to go through to be able to achieve satisfaction or pleasure. So once again, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.